It's official. NC State knocks off North Carolina for the first time in 7 years.
On ACC Live Breakdown, NC State rebounds, literally and figuratively. Did the Wolfpack rediscover the magic in the win over North Carolina? Also,
to the rim. Oh, on the follow jam. It's Plumlee.
Mason Plumlee and the Blue Devils bash the Terps. Is he getting enough help while Ryan Kelly is out to keep up with Miami? Plus, is the Canes' Durant Scott the best two-guard in the ACC? How about Duke's Seth Curry? Or what about buzzer-beating superhero Michael Snare? Your votes now on ACC Live Breakdown. Welcome to a new week of ACC Live. Monday means breakdown. JR Reid, the former North Carolina NBA great, joins me, Jeff Fischel. We talk Mondays about all the big games from the weekend. JR, quickly, who impressed you the most this weekend?
Oh, Jeff, without a question, the beatdown of the Tar Heels by NC State. That impressed me the most.
Boy, I can't believe you're letting down your Tar Heel fans.
Man, they let me down.
We're going to talk about all the games. We're also asking you, who's the best shooting guard in the ACC? Tweet us with your vote at the ACCDN. You can write JR directly. He's at JR Reid 7. I'm at Jeff Fischel. We're closing in on the halfway point of the conference schedule. Here are the standings in the ACC. Of course, we know it. Miami, 6-0. Duke, NC State, and yes, Virginia, all with 2 losses. Then the Heels and Knowles are 3-3. Further down, Clemson, Maryland, and Wake are 3-4. The Terps and Deacs, by the way, meet this weekend. The Techs and BC round out the standings. All right, let's backtrack and do a weekend rewind. Last night, Miami made it clear against Florida State that performance against Duke was not a fluke.
Oh, no, they came ready to go. Trey McKinney took over. A lot of starters were in trouble with foul trouble. He and the defense got the win for him.
71-47, another blowout. Virginia Tech did not have an answer for Clemson's Milton Jennings.
No, they didn't. Milton Jennings with a career high, 28 points. And we knew that they had the bodies to throw at Eric Green and make it tough for him offensively, and they did that and got the victory.
Duke will drop from number 1, but the Blue Devils looked very good against Maryland.
Oh, yes, this man right here, Mason Plumlee, came with it. But we knew that Duke was going to come out with a great effort after taking that embarrassing loss against Miami. Everyone was hitting. Rasheed Schuleman was terrific.
The Cavs, again, great defense and great performances, including Justin Anderson.
Jeff, absolutely. Poor Boston College. They're having a tough time of it, but that pack line defense is good. And like you said, Justin Anderson and Akeem Mitchell each with 16.
Freshmen were the key for Georgia Tech getting that first conference win.
Yes, coach is happy about it. Coach Gregory loves that, but Robert Carter Jr. was great inside with 20 points, and Marcus Georges-Hunt chipped in with his 12 as well.
And the matchup that was our showcase game on Friday's tip-off show, NC State and UNC. The Wolfpack stopping a 13-game losing streak to the Tar Heels, a streak that goes back all the way to 2007. Lorenzo Brown, 20 points. The big men, they did solid work in the paint, Jeff.
Oh, absolutely, Jeff. And I think it all started with Richard Howell early on in the game. He came out with reckless abandon on the boards. I think he had 5 offensive rebounds in the first 5 or 6 minutes, and that created their transition baskets. That's what's really got them going. They came out with good defensive intensity against Carolina, and they played like this game really meant something after dropping 2 out of 3. Here, you'll see Richard Howell contest the 3 of Marcus Page, who really struggled, and the best thing you can do is to get the ball into your all ACC point guard's hand, Lowe's Brown. And he knows that Richard Howell ran out on that contest and looks for him right here and feeds the big man for working hard inside. And more of the same right here. Good interior defense. They get the rebound. C.J. Leslie, again, is looking for Low Brown, who's crawling for the ball, so he can go and make the magic happen, and he brings the magic to Marcus Page with a beautiful spin move to finish off this run. The first half, Jeff, is what it was all about. They came out with great intensity, 20-0 on fast break opportunities to Carolina. I can't remember ever a time where the Tar Heels were shut out in the half on fast break.
We talk about NC State being so good offensively in the open floor, but the key to getting those opportunities on offense in transition is playing good defense. They did it against Duke. They did it again against North Carolina.
Absolutely. You know, and the Tar Heels the Tar Heels were the 2nd or 3rd leading rebounding team in the nation, but that doesn't matter when you're taking the ball out of the net. When they continuously get the ball, pushing it down your throats. It's hard to play against that.
So North Carolina State gets the big win. NC State quarterback Mike Glennon was one of the ACC stars to play in the Senior Bowl Saturday. So did Florida State QB E.J. Manuel, and he clearly improved his draft status with his performance in Mobile. Here's what's happening in the ACC now. Manuel threw for a touchdown and ran for another in the South's first 2 drives. The South beat the North 21-16. Manuel named the Senior Bowl's most outstanding player. He also led another scoring drive that was capped off by a touchdown by Miami Hurricane Mike James. Glennon was 8 of 16 in the game. Tough injury news for Virginia Tech. Cornerback Anton Exum tore his ACL. He may not be ready for the start of the season. Exum will have surgery this week. Needs 6 to 9 months of rehab before he can play again. That could mean he could miss part of the season. Great win yesterday for North Carolina. The women at the buzzer. Yes, Danielle Butts hits it as North Carolina pulls out a 64-62 win over Miami. The Duke women also got a W yesterday, 80-56 over Boston College. Haley Peters, 15 points, 13 rebounds. Blue Devils, 18-1, 8-0 in conference. And that is the ACC now. Hey, one more note, one other story that's trending this morning. North Carolina and Kentucky announced they'll play a home-and-home series in December 2013 and 14. Sports Illustrated and CBS Sports Hoops guy Seth Davis tweeted it out and said, big thank you to Roy Williams and John Calipari for renewing the series. One at Dean Dome, one at the Rupp. Hoops needs big games in December. I agreed. You like this?
Oh, love it. No, you can't ask for 2 bigger programs to really get after it. They had an opportunity to play in years past. I'm glad they're renewing it. Brings a lot of energy to both programs.
But you never played against Kentucky in your
No,
years.
I didn't. I wish I could have had a chance to play against my buddy Rex Chapman. I would have loved to try to give it to him.
The rest of the week on ACC Live, we talked about that, how that story's trending this morning. Tuesday, it's the trending show. Kelly Nash and myself, we talk about the big stories that are trending online that are especially relevant to ACC fans. This week, of course, looking at stories that are Super Bowl bound. Wednesday, Access, preparing for the NFL draft, the ACC players that could be ready to play on Sundays. We just talked about E.J. Manuel's impressive performance at the Senior Bowl. Thursday, our throwback show. We look back at former ACC stars who played in a Super Bowl. And Friday, tip-off, previewing the big game this weekend, Miami and NC State. Coming up, freshman Rasheed Suleiman got so hot Saturday, he put his name in the Duke record book. What he did to be compared to greats like J.J. Redick and Trajan Langdon next on ACC Live.
Out with the old and in with the delicious. Commit to bold taste with the new Flavor Resolutions menu at Ruby Tuesday. 10 entrees starting at $9.99. Try our savory barbecue brushed ribs and bacon wrapped shrimp. Or take it up a notch by adding coconut crusted shrimp to our mango salsa topped Caribbean chicken. Plus, enjoy our endless garden bar, free with any chef inspired entree. Ruby Tuesday. It's all good here. Start the new year with savings. Visit rubytuesday.com today for a $5 coupon.
What's better, bigger or smaller?
Bigger!
So which would you rather have, a big treehouse or a small treehouse?
If it's big enough, you can have a disco. Oh, yeah.
Why do you not want a smaller treehouse?
Because it wouldn't be able to fit a flat screen TV, and then the TV would be about this big, and you would have to hold the wire. In the position you would hold the wire, you wouldn't be able to see the TV.
That's a pain in the buns.
Yep. Yeah.
It's not complicated. Bigger is better, and AT&T has the nation's largest 4G network.
The ACC Digital Network, the ultimate video destination for ACC fans. Exclusive highlights, live streaming games, and original live programming, unique access to the student athletes of our time and the legendary voices of all time. Defining moments, personal stories, incredible analysis from authentic ACC sources, cutting-edge content from the leaders in the digital space. The ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.
Good afternoon, Chase Sapphire. This is Stacy from Springfield.
Oh,
hello.
Yes, I didn't realize you'd be talking to an actual person.
You don't need to press 0. I'm here.
Reach a person, not a prompt, whenever you call Chase Sapphire.
One of the best performances of the weekend. Duke freshman Rasheed Suleiman scored 25 points in Duke's 84-64 win over Maryland on Saturday, including 6 3-pointers. That tied a school record for threes by a freshman, and it is quite a list. More on that in just a second. Welcome back to ACC Live. He's JR Reid. I'm Jeff Fischel. We're asking you on Twitter, who's the best off guard in the ACC? Tweet us your answer at the ACCDN. You can also write directly to JR at JR Reid 7. I'm at Jeff Fischel. Your answer's coming up. Joe Harris, Seth Curry, Durant Scott, or teammate Trey McKinney-Jones? Or do you think it's just a matter of time for Rodney Purvis? Let us know. Rashid Suleiman impressed us with his 6 threes against the Terps. That tied the Duke freshman record for threes in a game. Some great names are on that list, including in 1995, the college basketball world learned why Trajan Langdon deserved the nickname the Alaskan Assassin.
Oh, one of my Duke favorites. Had an opportunity to play with him in Cleveland. Great shooter.
He poured in 23 as a freshman against North Carolina on March 4th, 1995. Flashback 2003, freshman JR Reid buries 6 threes against Georgia Tech.
Oh, this guy right here is all written about him, what he's done. The NCAA leader in three-point makes. Fabulous shooter.
Don't forget about Kyle Singler. He had 6 threes against Maryland in 2008. He averaged 16.7 boards in his career, started more games than anyone in Duke history, 4th all-time on the Duke scoring list, 2,392 points. Austin Rivers just last year hit 6 threes against North Carolina, and the 6th was special.
Oh, yeah. Duke Planner remembers this shot, but the fans of Tar Heel Nation really remember this. The dagger at the Dean E. Smith Center. Big-time performer.
And then yesterday, Suleiman. We know Duke needs Ryan Kelly back, but what makes Suleiman so important to this team?
He's athletic. He's probably their best athlete on the court. He can shoot the knockdown three, create off the dribble, everything that you like to see in a good two-guard.
It's the reason he was one of the top recruits coming out of high school a year ago. Now, Taylor King and Andre Dawkins also hit 6 threes in a game as a freshman. You did not see them, but they did indeed do it. So, JR, who's the best Duke shooter ever?
Oh, man, that's a tough one, but that's going to be easy. I think I'm going to go with my man, JR Reid. He just broke every record there was out there. Tremendous shooter, guts. He wanted the ball in tough situation. A great defender and competitor.
You know, I've got to say about JR Reid, I wasn't sure he'd have much of an NBA career, but he has really found a role.
It really has. There's always a role for a great shooter, Jeff, and that's what he's become down in Orlando. They look to him for veteran leadership now there.
All right, so let's be like Dr. Frankenstein and build the perfect two-guard. JR, what would you want in your perfect shooting guard?
Well, for me, Jeff, a perfect two-guard has to have the ability to catch and shoot the ball. He has to be able to defend his position, be a good off-ball defender, and he has to be able to create off the dribble as well. And we're going to get a chance here to take a look at some of the best two guards in the league.
Because the number one key if you're a shooting guard is to shoot, right?
There he is, and there's the best in the ACC right now, Mr. Scott Wood, and another one right here, Seth Curry. And the way that they're able to get open, off dribble handoffs, off kickouts, off penetration, you always have to know where these guards are, and I bet you their point guards know where they are at all times. Tremendous shooters, and they show here why these are two of the best. Their ability to catch the ball in space, square up, and knock down the jumper.
Now, if you can't catch and shoot, you have to be able to create some offense off the dribble. Who's the best at that in the ACC?
Oh, without a question. I'm going with the big body, Dez Wells up in Maryland, who's come in and taken over a leadership role with Maryland early. And here, he gets those big, wide shoulders by you. But not only can he finish out the paint, but he can kick it to the guys for the three as well. And there's a guy getting an opportunity, but this is what I like, to create and keep in an attack mode off the dribble, pull up on the one bounce and pull up on the jump shot. I liked his ability to do that.
All right, so what about the other half of the game? Who's the best defender amongst two guards in the ACC?
Now, you know I like this. I like tough-minded players. And I love Durant Scott with his New York toughness, the way that he plays off the ball. Here, we're going to see him playing against arguably the best shooter in the conference right now, Seth Curry. And your two guard has to be your most well-conditioned athletes because they've got to run around these screens. He's got to chase Seth Curry, who gets an opportunity to come off either way. He decides to come low here. He bodies him, gets help from his teammate. But you notice he never left Seth Curry, never left him alone at all because you have to defend the team's best player every night, and Durant Scott does that.
He did. He completely shut down Seth Curry. Seth Curry did not score last Wednesday against Miami, while Durant Scott put in 25. All right, so you take some Seth Curry or Scott Wood from the three-point area. You add in some Durant on D, some Dez Wells in the open floor, a little of that. Yeah. All right, so you've got the perfect off guard. We asked you, who's the best? Tweet us at the ACCDN. We are getting some tweets. Smashing Foos wrote in, and what did he tell us? He votes for Durant Scott. He's aggressive and put a whipping on Duke. He exactly did that. A fantastic night in the big win down in Miami. Who else wrote us and tweeted us? Ronnie Taborn, a friend of the show. I have to go with Michael Snare. Now, there's a factor we didn't talk about, being clutch.
Yeah, and Michael Snare is the definition of being clutch. He's done it for years, and he continues to do it. Along with Reggie Bullock now, shooting a high percentage as well.
That's another guy we definitely need to mention. Reggie Bullock's been fantastic. All right, JR, we've talked about a lot of names. Who is the best off guard in the ACC?
Well, we did a lot of talking off camera about this, Jeff, but I'm going to have to go with Durant Scott. He's defended the best, and he scored against the best in the ACC conference, and I love this toughness on both ends of the court.
And I'll tell you what, that entire team is showing that toughness as well. Right now, no one wants to play that team. They're up in RPI. They're number 3 in the country. Time now for the ACC Daily Menu, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. 3 games tomorrow night, NC State and Virginia. That looks like a good one.
Oh, yeah. I want to see how NC State responds to this pack line defense. It's going to make it tough for them to get the ball inside to their big horses.
You're going against an NC State team that's number 1 in the conference in scoring, by the way. Georgia Tech visits Clemson.
Well, we're going to see if Georgia Tech can continue its winner's ways. You know, they're going to have to go down there to Clemson, and they've got Milton Jennings just coming off a career high with a very athletic and gifted defensive team at Clemson.
BC hosts Carolina.
Well, Carolina has a chance now to get back on the winning side. They got Boston College, but Boston College plays a controlled tempo as well. It's not going to be all gravy for Tar Heels. They're going to have to come out with a great effort and step it up defensively to have a chance to win this game.
All right, so let's find out where JR thinks Carolina fits into his power rankings. Number 1 through 12. Let's start with at the top. Miami's your number 1, no doubt.
No doubt, without a hesitation.
And you're keeping NC State ahead of Duke.
Yes, I am. They whooped Duke, so they got to stay atop.
You're going with the head-to-head matchup. Virginia 4. You've moved Clemson up to 5.
Well, you know, Jeff, I've talked a little bit about Clemson. I like what they're doing down there. They're playing great defense, pressure D, and they've got players stepping up. McDaniels is very special right now for them.
And Wake Forest at 9, even though you keep them down at 9, even though after the win at NC State.
Yeah, after the win at NC State, but then you turn around and lose to Georgia Tech. So that you backslid a little bit on me. And I need to see a little bit more, but they've got some great young players.
I totally understand that. That's ACC Live Breakdown for today. Tomorrow, our trending show, Kelly Nash and myself, will talk about the stories that are trending online. Of course, this week, everyone's talking about the Super Bowl between the Ravens and 49ers. That's coming up. Thanks for watching ACC Live.